Yeah, a flipper! You flip a Cinderella, you...
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most unresolved or open to interpretation questions, anachronisms, and plot points in classic movies.
What do you think they were after, Miss
Daniels.
Number 10. Did they get the gold? The Italian Job. Michael Caine's ingenious thief Charlie Croker and his fellow robbers are last seen teetering over the edge of a cliff.
The gold is pulling it over the edge. We'll have to get it back.
Let's just say physics is not on their side. The spoils of their heist are at one end of the precarious truck, and they are the other.
Hang on a minute, lads. I've got a great idea.
Then the credits roll, leaving their fate unresolved, and there's not even a sequel to tell us how it all turned out. This ending has puzzled moviegoers for so long that the Royal Society of Chemistry held a 2008 contest to devise a solution to save the men and the gold. The winning answer was so convoluted, it's no wonder the filmmakers opted for a literal cliffhanger.
It's a very difficult job, and the only way to get through it is we all work together as a team. And that means you do everything I say.
Number 9. Who Killed the Chauffeur? The Big Sleep. It's a great showcase for the Hollywood super couple Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. But the murder mystery at the centre of this Raymond Chandler adaptation has a few holes.
Dad didn't tell you that.
Oh, yes, he told me about Regan, but that's not what he wants to see me about. That's what you've been trying to get me to say, isn't it?
I'm sure I don't care what you say, Mr. Marlowe.
Chandler's stories are known for their twisting plots. They're also known for not always tying up every loose end or subplot.
You do sell books.
What do those look like? Grapefruit?
Well, from here they look like books.
Halfway through filming The Big Sleep, director Howard Hawks realised he basically had no idea if the chauffeur character found dead in his limo was murdered or took his own life. In true Chandler fashion, the writer admitted he didn't know either. He didn't even really answer the question in his own novel. Unlike a lot of his fellow detective fiction authors, Chandler was much more concerned with vibes than airtight plotting.
I don't know as I like that.
Are you attempting to tell me my duties, sir?
No, just having fun trying to guess what they are.
Number 8. What's in the box? Kiss Me Deadly.
You have been misnamed, Gabrielle. You should have been called Pandora. She had a curiosity about a box and opened it and let loose all the evil in the world.
Everyone knows about the mysterious glowing briefcase in Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. But did you know that little plot point was lifted from a 1955 film noir? Throughout Kiss Me Deadly, many characters try and fail to acquire the incredibly valuable contents of a mysterious black box.
Whatever is in that box, it must be very precious. So many people have died for it.
Yes, it is very precious.
I want half.
It's never made explicitly clear what it is, but it's heavily implied to be radioactive. Once opened, the box's contents incinerate the movie's femme fatale character. Most critics agree it's a metaphor for the Pandora's box that is nuclear war. The fire only grows in power, with no signs of stopping. Although the movie had two different endings, neither one explains exactly what is in the box. We only know it's bad news.
I will tell you where to take it. But don't open the box.
Number 7. Guilty or Innocent? 12 Angry Men. Based on the play by Reginald Rose, 12 Angry Men is a courtroom drama that never lets us actually see the courtroom. An open and shut case becomes anything but, as 12 jurors deliberate the case of a young man on trial for murdering his father.
I want to hear your arguments.
I gave you my arguments.
We're not convinced. We want to hear them again. We have as much time as it takes.
Through their arguments, personal beliefs, politics, and morality, they eventually come to the decision that there is enough reasonable doubt to acquit the accused. However, one important question goes unanswered. Did he do it?
What side are you on?
I don't believe I have to be loyal to one side or the other. I'm simply asking questions.
Well, that's really the whole point. We don't know for certain. In the aftermath of Red Scare paranoia, it was a message for American moviegoers.
We may be trying to let a guilty man go free. I don't know. Nobody really can. But we have a reasonable doubt. And that's something that's very valuable in our system. No jury can declare a man guilty unless it's sure.
Number 6. What happens to Ben and Elaine? The Graduate.
You're living at home now, is that right?
Yes.
Do you know what you're going to do?
No.
In this 60s landmark film, Benjamin Braddock spent his days since college graduation in second gear, without direction or purpose. Despite Ben famously being intimate with Elaine's mother, Ben and Elaine Robinson fall in love.
Why don't you just drag me off if you want to marry me so much?
Why don't I just drag you off? All right, I will.
Eventually, the pair run out of her wedding ceremony to another man, in a scene that seems lifted from a fairy tale, but the fairy tale seemingly comes crashing down when the pair's faces reflect the gravity of what they've just done. Then the credits roll. Speaking to the fears and anxieties of young people growing up in a world their parents didn't quite prepare them for, not even the traditional Hollywood romance is promised in The Graduate. Will they stay together? Will they be happy? Clearly, even they have no idea.
I don't know what's happening.
You mean you're confused?
Number 5. Why are the birds attacking the birds?
This isn't usual, is it? The gull when I was in the boat yesterday, the one at Annie's last night, and now...
Last night? What do you mean?
A gull smashed into Annie's front door. Mitch, what's happening?
Alfred Hitchcock's 1963 classic of Person Against Nature is a haunting and thrilling experience. Using a mix of real, mechanical, and photographically superimposed birds to simulate violent attacks, the movie still manages to spook even the most sophisticated viewers. But the lack of motivation lingers over the movie, which only adds to the sense of dread.
It's the end of the world.
I hardly think a few birds are going to bring about the end of the world.
These weren't a few birds.
Though the characters have their theories as to why the birds are hell-bent on destroying humanity, the birds themselves certainly aren't talking, just squawking. And even if the characters had the means to figure it all out, the attacks in this movie are so relentless that there's no time.
You got quite a mess here, I'll admit that. Maybe you ought to put some screen on top of your chimney.
Number 4. Why didn't the glass slipper change back at midnight? Cinderella.
Goodbye.
No, wait. Come back. Oh, please come back. I don't even know your name. How will I find you? Wait! Please wait!
Now here's a true classic. The prince, having fallen in love with the mysterious Cinderella, is only able to locate her by having every maiden in the land try on the slipper she left behind. Once he finds her, the two marry and live happily ever after. But hold on, the fairy godmother was very clear when she briefed Cinderella before the ball. Magic comes with a strict curfew.
You must understand, my dear. On the stroke of 12, the spell will be broken, and everything will be as it was before.
That means the scullery maid's horse-drawn carriage, her gown, and everything else she takes to the ball with her will revert to their original form at midnight. But why does the glass slipper remain intact? The movie doesn't explain. Given that it's what the entire ending hinges on, it seems pretty convenient, even for a fairy tale.
I can't understand it.
Number 3. Is Oz real? The Wizard of Oz.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Dorothy Gale's journey through the Technicolor wonderland of Oz is clearly fantastical and highly metaphorical. The thing is, while L. Frank Baum's original book series makes it clear that Oz is a real place, the iconic movie leaves it, well, much more in the air, literally and figuratively.
We dream lots of silly things when we...
No, Aunt Em. This was a real, truly live place. And I remember that some of it wasn't very nice, but most of it was beautiful.
Certainly no one can sit through The Wizard of Oz without a sense of magical escapism. Although the movie strongly suggests that Oz was a figment of Dorothy's imagination, and that the story was an extended dream sequence, that's not so easy to accept. Who's to say the magic wasn't real?
Are you doing that on purpose? Or can't you make up your mind?
That's the trouble. I can't make up my mind.
Number 2, who heard Kane's last word? Citizen Kane.
He just said, Rosebud. Then he dropped the glass ball and it broke on the floor.
It's one of the most beloved and acclaimed films of all time, and it has one of the most enduring frame stories in all of classic cinema. Orson Welles' masterpiece actually does answer the main question posed at the beginning. What does Charles Foster Kane's last word mean?
Rosebud.
We find out what it means, but in a way that's not the biggest question of all. As far as we can tell, the room is empty when the dying man utters the fateful words. The nurse only comes in after he dies, alerted only by the sound of a snow globe smashing on the floor. It's a fun but minor quibble, especially when a movie is as great and influential as Citizen Kane.
We have no secrets from our readers, Mr. Bernstein. Mr. Thatcher is one of our most devoted readers. He knows what's wrong with every copy of the Enquirer since I took over.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, what exactly is going on? 2001: A Space Odyssey. Most of the movies on this list have one, maybe two unanswered questions. Stanley Kubrick's masterwork of science fiction and philosophy is a great big question mark in itself.
Yes. It's puzzling. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this before.
It's a moody and often wordless film marked by stunning visuals, long stretches with no dialogue, and a large monolith that may just hold the key to human evolution. Its puzzling and highly symbolic finale still has us scratching our heads. The truth is, there's probably no singular, satisfying answer to 2001: A Space Odyssey's questions about humanity, artificial intelligence, and the mysteries of the cosmos. Asking the questions may be more important than answering them.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Which unanswered questions do you think should have made our list? Let us know in the comments.
You can keep on asking questions if you want. We're leaving tonight.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.